This is absolutely the quietest group I've ever listened to.
You want sound, eh?
Well, I'm willing to talk to people. Not sure I want them to see me, but I'm willing to talk to them.
Yeah. What time is it? Oh, it's still got 4 minutes to
We
go.
got 4 or 5 minutes. John, KI5FLC, I have a question for you.
Fire away.
When you are using your rig, are you using the Bofang handheld?
Yes.
Okay. I'm wondering, since your audio is kind of low when it comes into the net, I'm wondering if your FM setting on that memory is set for wideband.
Let me take a look at that right now. I don't know where to look, but you can guide me through it. Hold on a second. Let me get the little thing. Okay. What do you need set on this?
It may be set properly, but it would be nice to know for sure. Let me see if I can find the.
Frequency mode.
Okay, if you go to press the menu, no, go to the channel that has your K5 NRH 2 meter link that you use into the repeater for the net.
That's this?
I can't tell.
155.500.
No, it's 145, but go to channel mode.
All right.
Channel mode.
Okay, I'm in channel mode now.
Okay, now go to the 2 meter repeater.
Okay, how do I do that? Well, right now I have it on NRH 370.
That's it.
Okay, and it's got the little down arrow there.
Yeah, it doesn't make, they're both the same on that particular display. Now, press the menu key.
All right, stand by.
Menu.
Okay, got that. It's on squelch.
And if you will press the up button.
Menu.
Okay. Till what?
Until you get to the number 5, just under the battery indicator.
All right.
Frequency step.
This all says 1.
Repress the menu key.
Okay.
That should give you squelch.
No, now I've been moving it. It goes from step. Goes different step.
Okay, go up again.
Okay, I keep going through step and it goes through a whole bunch of step.
Yeah, I know. Don't go too fast. What we want is one that's marked WN.
Now there's K's on the end.
Well, there's a little number that's below the battery icon on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
The time is 7 p.m.
I have, they all say 1, flashing a 1 below the battery indicator.
Confirm. Frequency step.
Okay, let's go through it. Let's go through it a step at a time. Frequency step, do an up step, up button. You should get a.
I got a step, yeah.
Okay, what does the screen read?
Screen reads 6.25K.
Okay, do up again.
Okay. Now it says TXP high, number 2.
Okay, go up again.
It says save, number 3.
Okay, go up again.
Okay, it says Vox off, number 4.
Right.
And go up one more.
One more.
WN wide, number 5.
Okay. So you are transmitting on wide. That menu option lets you shoot for narrowband FM or the more conventional wideband, which is the standard for amateur operation.
Okay, so it's correctly set?
It is correctly set.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Just to make sure it's all set up right.
Yeah, you're just going to have to yell louder when you transmit. I'm done, Jeff.
Is that what it is? When you don't have enough power, you just yell louder. Is that right?
Of course.
All right.
That's how you get DX, isn't it, Rich?
All right, gentlemen, welcome. Looks like we got a pretty good crowd coming in tonight. There's Travis. I'll let him in. Oh. So we got like 18 already. That's pretty cool. We may have a visitor from Arlington. I met him just a couple of weeks ago to come in and learn about Raspberry Pi and Grid Tracker. So maybe he'll make it in tonight and we'll learn something together. So other than that, do we have anybody that's a visitor? Because I can't see quite everybody. Not hearing anything? I'm trying to get it to where change the view on my network. Okay. All right. So nobody's a visitor. Any birthdays this month that we missed or haven't missed yet? I've got one coming up on the 25th. I'll be 29 again.
Wow.
For the 29th year, I'll be 29.
In your dreams.
Hey, just add it up. 29 and 29. That's how old I'll be. I'm getting on up there.
Congratulations.
Well, I made it longer than I thought, so I guess that's a good thing. So just a few notes. As all of y'all know, Dave does the siren test for us each month. He's looking to get out of that now and give somebody else a chance. So hopefully somebody that's involved will step up and take that. We really need to do that. We don't want to lose that connection with the city and that teamwork there, because they do a lot for us and we do a lot for them. And I think it would work out really good. And so hopefully somebody that's already doing it can help step up and take that over. It's just, I think, the first Wednesday of every month. So hopefully that'll work out. And then also he's asking if somebody would take over the website. I think he's been doing it for, what, I don't know, probably since it was brought up, wasn't it, Dave?
It was right after the club began, probably 14 years ago.
You son of a bitch.
Yeah, so I think it's time for somebody else to take it.
God damn it.
Travis, the sound is on.
Sorry.
I think he's muted now.
Oh, we heard him.
All right, so
Snake got him.
we talked a little bit about this Saturday during the board meeting too. We've done some updates to the Discord app for the club. We've got some news channels now. Well, we've got a news channel called QST Ham News, and right now it's dumping the RSS feed. Anytime the RSS feed's updated, it's dumping the news into that channel. amateur radio news line. Whenever their RSS feed gets updated, it'll also dump it in that same channel. Today, I added 2 more channels. One of them is, well, we didn't add the channel, I added a feed. I forgot, I think it's N7, whatever. It has the huge contest calendar site out there. He has a RSS feed also. And so I set it up to where whenever he updates that it will dump into the contesting channel with news about latest and greatest contest and any news about existing contest. And then in the weather alerts or anything like that, that should start showing up in there when they're put out. So just kind of everybody go look, and that way you don't have to search all the different sites. It kind of pops in there for you. We've had a couple of updates today from I think ARRL on the newsman side. Meeting of the year. We don't have one next month, but we will have our holiday party in January. Forgot the date again. Is it the
25th?
Whatever yeah, I'm bad at dates. If I don't have them written down in my calendar, I forget them. That'll be the holiday party. We're going to have it here at the fire station over in the big room restaurant. We'll do that'll be the holiday cheer instead of normally we give away gift cards and normally it's a little radio, whether it's a handheld or a mobile. This year we decided to purchase one of the 4-inch nano VNA kits and give that away as the main prize this year.
Jeff, I've got one of our guests checking in here in a minute. His name is Bob.
And that's already been purchased, I think, and on way.
Jeff, I think we're having some trouble with
also-
your audios.
Yeah, I'm getting low bandwidth. Let me see what I can do about that. Let's see.
Tell those kids to quit playing video games.
All right. Can you hear me better now?
Little echo.
Well, talk to us and let's see.
Hello? Oh, there we go. Electronics, they'll kill you. All right, can you hear me now?
Yeah, but we're looking at your feet.
Hear you.
All right. I don't know where you stopped hearing me, but membership renewal is coming up in February. If you want to go ahead and do that, that'll be great. I'll be sending out an email here soon to remind people to renew, and I'll also be reaching out like we did last year to inactives and see if we can't get some more people to rejoin the club and make our numbers a little bit bigger. We do have a test session tomorrow night as of right now. So if you're a VE and you would like to help out, catch up with Lowell. I think we've got 3 or 4. If we get a couple more, we can open up a couple of rooms and go from there. And I'll stop the video so y'all don't have to look at my shoe. And John, we're having an extra class in January, correct?
That is correct. If you're interested in being a part of it, send me an email, k5ltd@awrl.net.
And which class is that?
Extra,
Okay.
big one.
And that's if you want to either take the class or help teach, correct, John?
What's that?
If you're interested in teaching, I'll be happy to talk with you.
Oh, no. I told Lo that I would be available for tomorrow night. And when's the teaching again?
That's fine, Tom. We're talking about January for an extra class.
Yeah. Count me in.
All right,
Okay, I'll add you to the list.
good. That'll make it a little bit easier where you don't have one person trying to teach everything all together. Bob's sitting back here. Bob, we have anything on the repeater?
Nope, it's still there.
It's still there and both working. Sweet, Travis. He got his certificate. That's ARRL, right? That looks like an ARRL.
No, that's just the W5YI.
Oh, okay. I guess
But
my eyes are.
I'm gonna go ahead and do the one to get the ARRL also.
No.
Yeah, I've got them both. I don't know that I've ever done an ARRL session, but never hurts to have it.
That's right.
All right, so we've talked about the prettier. Hugh's not here. They're not here. Rich, is there anything you want to update the club on Winter Field Day and the VHF contest?
Well, on the VHF contest, if you go to Discord, I did a cut and paste and put it on there so you could see some of the numbers. The next thing that's coming up is Winter Field Day that we did last year. That's going to be January 30th and 31st. Now, last year, of course, we did it at the fire department. They're running the same rules as the summer field day. So that means that if you're unable to have a meeting with your club and at a certain site, you can work from home and you'll do an aggregate score like summer field day. That's up to us, whatever we want to do. Keeping in mind that we're talking 2 months from now. So either we can meet at the fire department or we can work from home. I guess the first thing I would like to find out is how many people would like to participate in that. And you can always just email me and let me know or talk to me. And that way we can find out how many people are interested. We did quite well last year, and hopefully we can get some of the new members to join in and participate. It's a lot of fun. It's not hard. It's a good way to get your feet wet for something like summer field day, where it's a little bit more hectic. Or in June when we do the VHF contest. So anyway, but yeah, just let me know if anybody's interested in the Winter Field Day, January 30th through 31st.
Rich, count me in for satellites.
Okay. Gotcha.
All right. Anybody else in the club have anything they want to talk about before we start on this program?
I
Hang on. Go ahead.
Again, I'd like to thank everybody that came out and helped put my antenna up. It has really made a difference. I appreciate all the hard work everybody did. And true to my word, I said I would make a donation to the club for that. So since our trip out here, I'd like to give this check to Jeff. I'm sure he'll make sure it gets in the right hand.
You had to get into my hands there. Thanks, Glenn. Very nice. And for those of you who are not here and can't see, I'll show you the check. A very nice donation, and we really appreciate the ones that went over and helped him get his antenna up so he could work Canada today.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he said that was the furthest he's ever talked voice. So that worked out really good. So Thanks to, I don't know who I was there, Rich, Lowell. Did Tim show up? Tim?
Michael.
Michael. So yeah, if I missed anybody, sorry, I wasn't there and I don't know, but again, thanks to everybody that went over and helped. And that's what a club should be doing is, and Bob, oh, there he is. He's got his headphones on. He didn't hear. That's what a club should do is help their members out when they have a need. And I think we do a good job of that. And I as president, I just want to tell everybody I appreciate you doing that. So, is there anything else anybody else has got they want to share before we start the program?
I wanted to ask or throw out to everybody. I figured that most everybody is a member with ARRL. I don't know why I can't ever say that right. I know that as a club, if we renew through the club, so basically if I get a check for $49 from you for membership fees, I can then fill out a form and then only send them $46 or 40. We get $2 or $3 per person. And I don't know if anybody is interested in that. For doing onesie, twosie, I'm not really interested in doing that. But if we had, 10 people that wanted to do it or something like that. And so I'm just throwing that out. So if you're getting close to time to renew, we might think about that. I don't know. Again, it's not big money, but every penny counts.
Yep. And for those of you who are a member of Amazon and don't know it, you can actually set the club up as a charity to receive part of your purchase price. When you buy something, they donate a portion of it towards the club. It's not a lot, but it is, again, it's money coming in. And I know we spend a crap load of money at our house. So on Amazon, we don't buy hardly anything that doesn't come from Amazon. And I'm making Jeff Bezos a lot of money. Do what?
I did that the other day.
Yep. Like I said, I don't know how much it is. It's not a lot, but again, if everybody does it, it can add up to a little bit of money for the club, and it's just more money coming in that we can use on other things.
That's the smile.amazon.com, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the only thing is to make it work, you have to log into smile.amazon.com. Uses the same credentials. It just somehow in the background says, okay, they're buying something. Let's send it to their charity, and they'll do it. So
once you set your account up for it, doesn't matter where you log in or how you log in, it all works. But you have to go through it to get started through Smile. Anyway.
Okay. It's been so long ago since I've done it. I don't remember how I did it.
Yeah, no problem.
Years. Okay. Anything else? Come on, my presentation is not going to be that long. Well, I can't say that. It might be.
Well, one question about the Amazon.
Okay.
Is there a special name or something for our club that we need to put into the Amazon when you set that up?
It's just use the full club name, North Richland Hills Amateur Radio Club.
Okay, I'll get all our family on that. We do Amazon quite a bit.
Okay. Hey, Travis, you got anything on Treasurer Report tonight you want to share with us before we start?
No, my mother had her hip replaced last week, and I've been over at her house, and so I hadn't done nothing.
Well, I can imagine much has changed anyway. So
yeah,
because we haven't eaten and any money that way. So
well, I know somebody. I got a renewal, and they paid $20 for a renewal. So I need to talk to them and find out if that was for this coming year or this last year. So, but I'll follow up on that.
Okay. That was Bob. Oh, that was Glenn.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Glenn said that was for 2021, Travis.
Okay, no problem. Then I'll credit it the correct way then.
Yeah, I've got another question.
Okay.
About renewing for ARRL. My renewal for ARRL is up next year. Will we have a form or something, or is there a form on our club website to donate some of that to our club?
Let me work on getting that done. I just really did a little bit of research on it this last week and was getting the information together. So I'll make sure that for the February meeting, I'll have information on that for everybody, if not earlier.
Okay, I'll need to do that in like April or May, so I've got a couple
Okay.
of months
All right, no
before
problem.
that comes up. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
All right, anything else? Man, these Zoom meetings fly by. All right, I am going to try to share my screen. I got to click on the right button. That would help. And there.
Yeah, if you can get by the cat QRM.
All right, let's see if it works. Not seeing it up there. There it goes.
Looks like we still have the kitty cat QRM though.
Oh, there we go.
I get off in another room so our kitty cats don't QRM.
All right.
There it goes.
All right. Yep. So tonight we're going to talk about Grid Tracker. I am by no
Okay.
means an expert on it, but I have been using it for a while now and have really come to like it. It's a really neat program. If you're using JT Alert, it's kind of like that, but I call it JT Alert on steroids because it has so many other features that JT Alert doesn't have as of right now. So first of all, what is Grid Tracker? It's just a warehouse of amateur radio information in an easy to use interface. You can get live traffic on the map. You can get, look at your logbooks. You can do spot reports. You can do weather, current solar conditions. You can even get lightning strikes to show up on the map for you, if that's what you want to do. There's a lot of things you can do with it. So here's some of the features that it has. Like I just said, it's a highly customizable and interactive map. You can get a gray line map, and they also have a real-time award track, and you can click a button and it'll cycle through the awards and show you on the map what you've got and where they are. So that's a pretty neat little feature too. Like I said, lightning strikes, it'll show you the moon position, and it also does PSK reporter reception reports. It'll show you the bands and which ones are most active with PSK reporter. It'll do detailed state and grid and county information, which is great if you're a grid or county hunter. It'll show you a ton. I'll show you some screenshots here in a minute. It just gives you tons of information. You can do audio and visual alerts. I don't do that because my Pi only has one sound card, and I think I have to have two to do that, but because I'm running my radio through the one that it has. It has multiple databases that you can look up your call signs in. It does support the paid QRZ lookup, and that's one I use. That's one that gets the best information. But if it can't find it there, it'll try the others also. And Brian turned me on to this feature, the call roster. It's a really neat feature, and I'll show that to you in a minute. It pops up and shows you a table view of all the activity going on the band that you're on. It'll show you whether you've worked somebody or not, whether you've worked that county, that grid, that country, whatever. And the easiest thing about it, like it says there, you can initiate a QSO by clicking on the call sign one time. It'll dump it into WSJTX and start the conversation with them. It integrates with a lot of different logging programs and web-based systems. I'll show you that also in a little bit. And the way I've got mine set up right now, it does all my online stuff, plus Logbook of the World, plus Amateur Contact log by N3FJP. It fills all that out for me, so I don't have to worry about going to 6-7 different places to update my logbooks. It does DXCC, country and call sign prefix recognition. So it does support the WPX contest information. So you can work those WPXs and try to get those. Plus, the nice thing is it is 100% offline mode also. So you can use it during field day, SOTA, IOTA, and other mobile uses if you don't have internet connection. And the bottom one is the best thing of all. It's absolutely free. And they continue to, the guy that originally developed is no longer working on it, but he's made it open source. And there's a group that was actually working with him that has now taken over the project, and they're continually doing bug fixes and updates and making changes to it and making it even better. So there's the interface that you'll see when you first launch it. And as you see, I don't remember what band that is. It's 30 meters. You can see all the points that I've worked on 30 meters on that map. And you can have it draw your current connection with a line. I don't know why that line's on there. I'm not in California, but anyway. But if you look over to your right, down about middle ways, you see all those little icons. Those are all different features that you can turn on. It's really, really neat. It has its own logbook built in, so you can actually pull that up and search it for a call if you want to. If I'm not mistaken, I think it's the first icon on the first row to the left, the one that looks like a clipboard. That's call roster. And that's the one I was talking about that I really like about it, because it really helps you know what you're looking for and how you can get there. So that's the basic interface when you first pull it up. There's your current band and mode map. Again, that's just the map part, and those are worked sites. Oh, I get it out in a minute. And that does, I just took a screenshot without the key to the side of it. So the first thing you got to do to get this to working with WSJTX is go into your settings, and on the reporting tab, now I highlighted enable PSK reporter. I do that. You don't have to do that to make it work. But the next section is what you want to set up. And if you're running it on the same computer that your grid tracker's on, you'll put, the 127.0.0.1, and it has to be port 2237. And all three of those boxes have got to be checked for it to work right. If you don't do that, it's not going to work right. But I do the PSK reporter so that everybody knows what's going on. So here's the first box when you go into the settings. You can see it up at the top, and I'm pointing at the screen like you can see me. I'm really good here today. It supports WSJTX and JTDX off the download, right out of the box. Boom, it works. Both of those will work. And you can actually, if you are running them both at the same time, it'll actually both work, both of them at the same time. But you see here where we have it told to receive UDP messages on 2237. So that's where your WSJTX is going to dump it. Now, if you want to forward them to something, grid tracker on another box, you can change the IP, and the one to the right where it says forward UDP, change that to the IP of that box and port 2238, and then set that box up to receive on 2238. Again, as your very simple settings, put your grid square in, your distance units. I'm assuming everybody wants it in miles like I do, and tell it to decode the traffic waterfall. Here's where you can also check for a new version. You don't normally have to do that, because when they dump a new version, it normally will pop up and tell you before it loads the map, there's a new version out. Do you want to update? If you say yes, it'll take you to the download page on the website so that you can download it. So here's the lookups tab. As you see at the top, I'm using QRZ. Put your username and password in. Then there's multiple options here that you can use. You can add the lookup data to the log event. You can add the grid so let's say you work somebody and they don't have their grid coming across in their conversation. This will look up the grid, and if it finds it, it'll add it to the QSO if it's missing. Now the next one, the one below, the next one on the next row, open lookup on transmit. I do that, and I'll show you why in a minute. Because it gives you a lot of information real quick about the person that you're talking to. The bottom four are call sign databases that it will go out. If you enable, it'll go out and download, I think on a weekly basis. It'll go out and pull down the latest database of users for those. So that'll help also when you're trying to look people up. So I skipped the audio on the map tabs. Audio is where you set up your audio cards. That's going to be individual for you. The map is where you can choose different maps. There's like probably 50 of them that you can choose from. You just go through and pick out the one that you want. But here's the best part of it for me. here's where you set up your login. So the very first line you see, it says Grid Tracker QSO log file. You can tell it to do that on startup, and you can tell it to log. If you don't check log and make it green, it won't log to it. So I don't know why you would do a startup. I do it as a backup in case something happens. I've got another log somewhere else I can pull up if I need to. And then the next line, you just tell it to do it to a local file and tell it where you want it to be. And that's it. PSK reporter, do I want it on the menu first of all, and do I want it to run? If it's green, I want it to run, and I want it to run. Now here's where the cool part is. At QRZ.com, if you have an API key, which those are free to get from them, and it should be on your settings page if you have it, you can come in here and put that API key in and click those 3 buttons, and it'll add it to the menu. It'll start up when Grid Tracker starts up, and it'll automatically log to QRZ for you. So you don't have to worry about exporting a ADI file and then importing it or manually putting them in or anything like that. It will actually do it for you. Same thing here for hdrlog.net. You have a call sign, and I can't tell you off the top of my head how to get the upload code, but that link works. It tells you how to get it. It's free again. They'll send you an upload code. You put it in there. Boom, now it automatically logs to hrdlog.net. Now, CloudLog is a download program. It's written in PHP that you can put on, like if you have your own personal server, you can actually put it on there, and this will actually write to it also. I used to have it a long time ago. It was more trouble than it was worth to keep up with all the others. So I just kind of don't bother with that one. Now, if you're interested in the Workdoll Japan, like Rich and I are doing now, this next one's good for you because EQSL.cc is supported by the Workdoll Japan award program. They don't support Logbook of the World, but they support EQSL. So here again, username, password, and then whatever your QTH nickname is, put that in, turn it on, boom, automatically logs. No problem at all. Here's another one. Go ahead.
How come so many logbooks?
I just have over the years done them and just, I like having them online so I can see them somewhere when I'm not at home.
Okay.
And plus with the QRZ one, they got all these awards you can get. So why not? That's just me. You don't have to. I'm just saying if you want to use all these are all available for you. The next one is the main one, Logbook of the World. It'll do that. Put your username, password in there, and the path to your TQSL. Now, that path will look funny to y'all. If you're not using Linux, that's a Linux path. And then put your station name in, and you can do a test download and a test upload to make sure it works. And it should work if you've got all that right. And in a minute, I'll show you a screenshot where it uploads all these, and you can see it does TQSL. Now, these next 5 are paid for, or I guess in some cases free logbooks. And you can actually write it to another machine. So if you're running Grid Tracker on one box and your logbooks on another, you just put the IP in there and the port that it needs, and it'll work. And as you can see here, I've got the N3FJP loggers, which is AC log, and it also works with the field day loggers and basically all of his software. It'll work with all his. So it works with DX Keeper, which I haven't used in a long time. I just haven't used it a lot. I know there's a lot of people that do, and then HRD logbooks. Some of you people use HRD. It'll write to it also. So that's the neat thing I like about this one. I can update all my logbooks really quick at one time. And, I don't have to worry about them being out of sync. So here's the call roster we were talking about earlier. Now, this top part up here are all the filters that you can put in. Okay. So right now, in my logbook, I'm using whatever band and mode I'm on. I'm looking at all traffic on call signs, and I'm only looking for new and unconfirmed. Okay. Now I've made some changes to the right there under wanted. I think I've got everything but OMS and continent checked now. And I'll tell you why in just a second. So if you look at this one, You'll notice over under call signs, some of those are bright yellow. Some of them are black with a line through them. The ones with the line through them means they have been confirmed. The ones that are all yellow means those are new. You have not worked them, or they are not confirmed. Okay, so this is just call signs, but I'll show you in a minute. Now here's the cool thing. You'll see over here to the right where it says no, and then in the green box it says CQ Russia. You can check that and change that message to, so say you don't want to accidentally work somebody that's doing DX and they're calling CQ DX. You can check the box and change it to CQ space DX, and it won't show you those in the call roster. So you don't accidentally try to work somebody that's trying to work DX only. And then again, in the next box down, you can only look for specific CQ messages also. Now, I haven't played with the regex enough, but supposedly there's a way you can write your own regex to do it, if you're good at that, to really tweak it down even more. But you'll see up and above those green boxes, you'll see where it says uses EQSL. And then on the next row over at the bottom says uses lot W. You'll see there, those lot W's are checked. That means all those people are on lot W. I don't really watch EQSL anymore. Just don't. I mean, it's not the one I'm worried about. But there's a lot of information there. And there's a couple other columns that I have hidden because there's just like probably 20 or so columns you can add. And it gets a little busy and congested down there. So here's needed grid and call sign. This is what I was talking about. So you see the one under call sign, those are yellow. That means that I need those call signs. I haven't worked them on the current band or mode. Okay. Now the one at the very bottom, I almost cut off with the red box on it. That's one that I'm trying to call now. I'm working now at that particular time. And then over in the grid column, same thing. That blue box says that I haven't got a confirmation or haven't worked grid FN64. So you see how this makes it easy for you if you're a grid chaser. And it does the same thing under county and state and DXCC and continent and all that. It does the same thing. It'll highlight them so that you'll know that you need those. To me, that makes it so much easier when I'm seeing a bunch of traffic come by on picking out who I want to work. Because, if I just want to work somebody, yeah, I'll work W7 OK again. But I've already worked him and confirmed him. But if I just want to work somebody, fine. Oh, let me go back one here. I didn't show you all this. Didn't mention this. In that second set of boxes to the right there under CQ only and as grid, you'll see minimum DB and maximum DT. You can set those where it won't. So if you check minimum DB and you set it to say -20, it won't show you any signals higher than -20. Like -21 won't show, or lower, I should say, won't show up. And you can set that to whatever value you want. Same thing with the DT. You can set that to a value. Let's say you set it to 0.25. Anything over 0.25 in the DT column won't show up for you. So you don't waste your time. Because if the time's not synced right, it's probably not going to work anyway. But you can just play with this thing all you want. You can even set minimum and maximum frequency ranges on that particular band that you want to work. You only want to work in between those. You don't want to work anything outside those. So again, this thing's got a lot of customization that you can do to make it work the way you want it to work. So here's a picture of my desktop. Well, it looks a little bit different today. I made a change. I got a new monitor this weekend, so it looks a little bit different. But you can see I've got WSJTX on the top. Below that, I've got my call roster. And then on the side, I've got my WSJTX shrunk enough where I can see the PSK reporter info, all the icons, and then the status down at the bottom, down at the bottom with the date and times and stuff. That's just the status of what it is. Now, this is a Linux box. So what I've also got, and if you're running Linux, I can show you how to do this. Over on the bottom right, you'll see 10 most recent QSOs. That's reading my QSO file, my ADI file from WSJTX and displaying the last 10 so that I don't accidentally click on somebody that I just worked. And that pulls it straight from the log file. As soon as I work another, boom, it rolls up one. So it's really neat. And you'll see there that I'm using FL Rig to control mine. makes it easier in WSJTX. I don't have to worry about COM ports or anything else. I just point at the FL rig and boom. As long as FL rig is working, it's going to work. There's a call, right? That's the lookup that pops up. And that's why I have it on. There's a lot of good information here. Now, the stuff to the right is all the information you'll see under source there. It pulls from QRZ.com, pulls all that stuff from QRZ.com for you, pulls the picture that's on their website, their call, their country flag, their address, their email, all that. But the cool part at the top is it shows you what bands that you've confirmed that individual on. So this particular guy, W4LID, I've got confirmed contacts with him on 20 meters FT8 and 40 meters FT4.
Hey, Jeff, question. How did you get to this screen? I missed it.
On the setting, let me go back a few. Back here under the settings,
Right.
there in the middle where it says open lookup on transmit.
Gotcha.
Click that.
Thank you.
Make sure that's green.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay. And like I say, and then it tells you the last time you talked to them and what band too. Now it also shows you that under the United States, those are the bands that are available to work on WSJTX for that individual. I've clicked on them. I don't do anything. I don't know why they're there other than just to kind of give you some information. But the nice part is, like I said, you can even generate specific messages to that user by clicking the generate messages. Don't know why, but okay. But again, it's a lot of information. It pulls it up for you immediately. As soon as first time you transmit to that call sign, this pops up. You can close it out. It won't do anything to hurt the QSO. But again, it just gives you a lot of information up front real quick. Now there's the status at the bottom I was telling you about a while ago. And this was right after I logged a QSO. And you can see it. First thing it did was grid tracker backup. Then it logged to N3FJP. Then it just worked its way on up into the very top where you see logged to TQSL. So it's already in lot W now. I don't have to do anything else. It's already in lot W. So that's the thing. I use a lot. I use all these different things just so I have multiple places. So if I lose something, I at least can get back somewhere near where I was. And I don't depend on, a backup disk or something else. It's all online. But again, that's one of the neat features about it. Oh, wow, that was quick. Any questions?
Yeah.
Any slides you want to go back and look at?
I got a quick question. This is a lot on the digital modes. What about slow scan television?
It does not work on slow scan television.
Okay.
Like I showed at the beginning right now. Whoops, hold on, went too far. Right now, it just works on WSJTX and JTDX. And I don't think they do slow scan TV. At least to my knowledge, they don't. It's FT8, FT4, what is it, JD9 or JD64, whatever all those modes are.
So they're and RTTY and JS8 call, it doesn't cover those.
Not yet. I know there's talk of them trying to get it to work with JS8 call. It's really, the last I saw was it's really up to the developers of JS8 call. Their philosophy is our APIs are out there. All they got to do is add the API to their program and we'll take it. They just got to send, whatever information to port 2237 and it'll work. And I know there's some talk about people getting JS8 call to work with it. I think it would be really neat. I don't know anything about Ready, so I can't help you there. But any modes that those two apps support, it will work with.
Gotcha.
Okay. Any other questions or slides you want to see?
Does it sync logging to the N3 FJP log back to the others, or is it just the link from FT8?
Grid Tracker, no. Any mode that Grid Tracker supports, which is anything that WSJTX and JTDX supports, which they're essentially the same program. Any of those modes that it supports, FT4, FT8, like whatever, the JT65, JT9, whatever. I don't remember all of them off the top of my head. Whatever they will support, it will write to the N3FJP log, any of these loggers. Did that answer your question, John?
That's from the WSJTX software, but it does not sync one log to the other.
Not, you're talking about from like AC log back to there?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it does not support that. Because that would be a N3FJP function to be able to write back. As far as I know, I don't know. I've never seen it sync. I know it's a one-way write from Grid Tracker and WSJTX to the logbooks.
Well, I can download the N3FJP log off of the lot W. So
yeah,
that would be one way of getting that logging into that one log if I wanted to do that.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It like I said, I used JT Alert for a long time, and I won't say anything bad about it because it's a good program. But when I started looking at this one, I was like, man, this is what you really need, because it has so many functions and so many things that can tie things together, and it just makes it a lot easier keeping up with stuff. I mean, you got one program that'll do a lot of different things, and the map thing is really, really neat because you can look at the map and see where you've worked, and it will pull from your logbooks and make sure. Let me go back and just trying to find that. Where'd it go? All right. So on this screenshot, you see not the two on the very bottom of the icons, but the row above that. You'll see QRZ log, lot W log, and club log. When you first launch this, those will be gray and they'll be kind of scrolling. And what it's doing is it's going out right then and pulling the latest information from those logs to make sure that it has it so that the data that it gives you is up to date. So it looks in there and sees if you've confirmed on any of those, and then that way it'll highlight and tell you that, hey, you've already worked that guy or that person, and they're confirmed. So there's a lot of things there.
So if you were logging with another program,
mm-hmm.
and it uploads to Logbook of the World, then this program will download it and tell you if you've worked them, whatever mode you've had.
Right. As long as you're
Cool.
in that whatever mode you're in, if you've worked it in that mode, it should tell you that you've worked it and got it confirmed.
Cool.
Or just worked it if it hadn't been confirmed yet. So the other thing I wanted to do tonight, let me get through here. So let's get out of here. I'm going to share one more thing. And where'd it go? I think my VNC viewer shut down.
We've got it on screen.
Well, crap, I've got something going crazy on my screen here. It was working when I left the house because I checked it right before I left.
What we're seeing is called VNC Viewer.
Yeah, it's not going to let me do it. I was going to connect into my Surface and then connect to, you know what? Maybe I can just do it. See if this one's listening. It may be something with the network up here also. There we go. All right, so this is my Raspberry Pi. Oh. All right, hold on. I go to here. Where'd it go? Why is it not showing?
Stop sharing.
Why is it not showing?
Jeff, you stopped sharing.
Yeah, I'm trying.
There you go.
Do you see it now? Well, do you see the first one, or can you see that now?
I see the VNC viewer.
Do you not see the actual computer behind it? Why won't it let me?
A lot of times through remote desktop or remote connections like that, the window that you're looking at is it's kind of funky. So I've had that problem before. Going remote from one to another loses one of the videos or won't
Yeah,
show it.
that's what it looks like.
Yeah.
A really pretty screen. I wish y'all all could see it.
Is it on the desktop on the computer that you have? If so, you can share it using Zoom, but you'll have to share it directly.
Wrong button.
Stop sharing here and go share it.
How is it? Yeah, here. Still only showing that. I'm trying to get my phone to show it.
It sounds like you got the wrong image that you're sharing.
It's not letting me. Stop video.
There. Switch your video. Yeah, there you go.
Okay, can y'all see that?
Stop sharing. You should stop sharing this screen now.
Oh, okay.
So when you start talking, you'll be on the big screen, I think.
Stop.
Yeah, I did stop share.
Yeah, now we can see your computer.
Good. Well, I'm trying to get it. Well, why did it go away? There it goes. All right. Don't know how well you can see it.
That's good.
But that is, I've got FL rig on the top now, so I can see all the controls for my radio. There's WSJTX, and of course, right now, grid tracker is empty. I mean, rock call roster is empty. Let's see if I can zoom in on those. So you see now what all I've got checked down there that I'm looking for. And what will happen, and it maybe if I change bands, it'll, let me change bands real quick. It looks like 40's got some activity. Let's see if anything pops up. Yeah, I picked up a 26-inch monitor the other day at a estate sale for $18. Yeah. Yeah. Hey, Travis, can you mute? There we go. There doesn't look like there's a ton on 40 right now either. But as you can see, there's a yellow one, and that means I haven't worked them. And then the one down at the bottom with a white box around it means I've worked them, but it has not been confirmed. You see the grid square there? It's blue. That means I haven't worked that grid square. And if you look, let me see if I can get in close enough on the county. It's hard to work a phone. So Liberty County in Georgia, I have not worked either. So that's why it's bright yellow. So there's a lot of options, and these others, if I hadn't worked the United States, it would be yellow. Any of those states would be whatever colors set up for them. They got different colors for everything.
Is that customizable?
Not yet, but they are talking about that, doing that, because that was one of the feature requests before the guy that originally wrote this dropped out of it, was to make those colors customizable, because some people have trouble seeing certain colors. And so that's why they want to do that. But if you look over here, also over here, this again is because I'm running Linux. But it gives you the last 10 QSOs. That section above it tells me which apps are running. So you can see WSJTX is running, Grid Tracker's running, Pulse Audio, which is the sound that runs it into WSJTX. And then over here to, whoops, let's see what that was. FL Rig is running, and then Pat, which is just WinLink. But that's a customizable part of Linux right there in the background. That's all running on a Raspberry Pi. I got a Pi 4 with 4 gigs of RAM, and I got, I think, a 32 gig SD card in it. And I used a program called Build-A-Pi. So essentially what you do is you install Raspbian Buster, I think, which is the latest one. And you go to KM4ACK's GitHub site, download a script, run it, and it installs all the ham software you could ever want on your machine. And then it also installs an update that you can run every so often. It'll go out and update all these programs for you so that you don't have to do it yourself. You just run the update file and it goes out and pulls it all in. So any questions based on the look there?
What was the PyHam website and the GitHub?
It was
name?
Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Charlie Kilo. And he's got a YouTube channel. He is really worth going to watch because he actually walks you through this whole procedure from installing the Build-A-Pi script all the way to setting each of the individual programs up. I learned so much off of him. I joined his Patreon. Oh, there you go, right there, DXCC. Well, if I can get it to sit still.
I'm trying to write the notes. I'm not watching the screen.
Yeah, Trinidad and whatever that is. I can't read it.
Tobago.
There you go.
Trinidad and Tobago.
That may be something else. No, that's Bosnia and Herzegovina. That's who that is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I could. He's gone now.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. I was trying to find something that's had a really good chance of grabbing. Let's just do this guy into. So I click on, well, so I clicked on KP4 DDM. It pops up all his information. Oh, I'm looking at the keyboard. It's hard to hold a phone and work it at the same time.
Yes.
See, it popped up, and you can leave that up if you want. You don't have to. I always close it down. I think Laura's going to work the camera for me. And it'll go through its normal procedure. If he comes back and boom, 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 hopefully he'll come back here. Well, he's a -22. We don't need him. Let's try this guy.
No.
He's a -8. So see, I click on it one time and it automatically changes WSJTX, starts the conversation. And if he comes back in a minute, you'll see it go through all the logging at the bottom. So there it popped up because I just transmitted to him, showed that I've worked him on 10-meter single sideband. Confirmed on 10-meter single sideband. There's all the stuff. Of course, it shows here it came from QRZ. He's from Tuckerton, New Jersey. So let's hope he decides to come back here in a minute.
Looks like he grabbed somebody else.
No, that's K6EU. But the neat thing about this is if you put OpenVNC, if you put VNC, running the Pi, it comes to the VNC server. If you enable it and then install the client on anything else, your phone, your iPad, your laptop, your Fire tablet, whatever, you can be anywhere and work your radio from there. And he showed a neat, here he goes. So he just came back. I replied back to him. And let's see if we can get over here a little bit better. There you go. Because we'll see in a minute when he finishes up, when he comes back and it finishes, you'll see that scroll up. I've done it sitting in the laundromat before, worked radio stations with this. So it's really cool. I've done it from Mississippi before also. Okay, he just sent an RR73. There we go. Oops. So cool. If I click OK, boom. Now, if I had gotten it to work the other way, it would have been better because I could have flipped over to AC log and showed you that it automatically logged there. But you can see here, it shows it did grid tracker, did N3FJP, QRZ, QSL, all of them.
Mm-hmm.
So they're all, that contact right now is in all of them. And over here, you'll see down here, it shows the calling. You can set up, it'll tell you who they're talking to if you want, but it'll also show you the message, show you the last message. I can't get my mouse to work right. Whoops. Let's see, the last one was me sending, was that R73 from him to me. So it's a really neat deal. Like I said, it sets up really good for remote operation. And if you have a smart plug, you can also, you don't have to worry then about your rate. Let me turn off this video right now. And we'll just go back to talk. There's a smart plug. You can get like 4 of them off Amazon for like $25. And you can control them from anywhere in the world also. So one of the concerns here is if you're doing this, what if your radio gets stuck in transmit mode? Well, fortunately at my house, I've got somebody there who can go in there and turn it off right now. But say you're all off on vacation and you're doing this and it gets stuck in transmit. If you have one of the smart plugs, you can use your phone to turn the plug off from anywhere in the world. And that kills your connection and you're not just stuck in transmit mode and causing a lot of issues with others. Okay, so any other questions?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Okay.
Why Linux?
It's free. It's customizable. It runs
The system that the Raspberry Pi works on.
Well, yeah, the Pi runs Linux, but it also doesn't take near the resources that Windows Boxes does.
Okay.
I mean, I've got a DNS server, add content server blocker at my house running on a Pi Zero with, I think, 500 megs of RAM, whatever they come with. And I don't get hardly any ads. The only ones I can't block ads on are my TVs because they won't let me set the DNS server. But every other computer in my house, I don't get any ads on. They just go away. I've also got an APRS gateway running on a Raspberry Pi Zero.
It's been years since I've worked Linux, but in those days, you had to interact with Linux far more than you did Windows.
Yeah, and
keep it running.
Yeah, I can remember back in the days because it was mostly command line even too back then, but they've come a long ways on it, and it's a lot like Windows now in the look and ease of use compared to what it was, Tom, back in the day that you're talking about. They've even got theme packages where you can make it look exactly like Windows if you want to. The cool thing about the Linux stuff, though, is just about every piece of software that goes on there is free, and it's high quality software. It's not cheap stuff. It's not stuff that you wouldn't want to run.
Well, it can be.
Well,
yeah, I mean, you just got to be careful where you're getting it from.
If you get it from Billy Bob on the street corner, yeah, it might not be too good. But if you, for instance, that's running Raspbian, which is built off of Debian. If you stick with the Debian packages, they're usually really good packages. They usually don't have a lot of problems. Not near as many as the Windows programs.
What was the web or the site for getting all the ham stuff?
As far as
well, you said the packages that would install every piece of software you wanted and everything.
Yeah. Here's what all right. It's github.com / Kilo Mike 4 Alpha Charlie Kilo. And he's got a package there called Build-A-Pi. But I would suggest you look him up.
Fine. Okay.
Look him up on YouTube because he walks you through every bit of it and step by step shows you everything to do. It makes it really, really easy.
Okay, I just didn't get the call sign a while ago, so
Yeah.
I just needed to get that so I could go into it. Thanks.
And I became a supporter of his. I give him $3 a month, and I get all the videos 2-3 days before he releases them. And he does a lot of neat stuff with Linux and the Raspberry Pis. He's even got one, and Lowell and I were testing it today. I couldn't get it to work right because I did something wrong. He's got what he's called a mumble server, and it runs on Pi, connects to your radio like this one does, but it allows you to use like your phone and be away from there, and it will stream the audio over the internet to your phone, and then you can tap a little button on your phone and transmit through your radio voice through there. So he's got all that figured out. It's really, really neat. I just had some setting wrong the other day and couldn't get it to transmit. And it may be the Vox setting on my radio at the house was too sensitive or something and was picking up something else. But I'm going to go back and look at that. But he's got a ton of really good videos on using a Raspberry Pi for ham radio. And I've got a Pi 3 that's an older one I built as almost like a duplicate of this one that I throw into my go bag, and I can use it on the road if I want to. And one thing I didn't show you on there, and if you're interested in it, just give me a shout. His setup, he also sets up the Pi to be a hotspot. So let's just say, for instance, I take that Raspberry Pi 3 somewhere. I don't have internet, but I want to be able to use my tablet to connect to it, to log and do whatever, run my radio and all that. It sets up its own hotspot, and you can connect to it, and then you'll be able to connect to the Pi and run your radio and everything else from a different thing like a phone or a tablet or even another laptop. And you'll have a network between those two devices, and that way you don't have to have a monitor on your Raspberry Pi. It runs headless, and you can control it from one of the other devices based on a hotspot. And if it doesn't see a network connection, like a wireless or a wired network connection, it automatically will turn that hotspot on and start handing out IPs if you connect to it. You can set up the password and everything so that not just anybody can get to it. So, like I said, this guy does a ton of good stuff for ham radio on the Pi, and I follow him. I watch all his videos multiple times. So if you're interested in Raspberry Pi, tying it to ham radio, controlling your rig and that other kind of stuff, setting up APRS gateways, setting up a WinLink server so that you can do emergency emails out away from the house and stuff. He shows you how to do all that. So it's really, really, really neat, really neat site. So any other?
Yes. I noticed that when you were doing it remotely there on FT8, and you were getting a red line, which is indicating you've connected. Is there any way that you could set it up remotely that when you got a red line, it would automatically answer if you got the correct information back on FT8, that it was a confirmed connection?
I'd have to look at that and see. That's a good question. Hey, Tom, shoot me that question either in Discord or in an email, and I'll do some search and look on that. Because
Okay.
yeah, that would be that's interesting. That may be a feature set we can request also.
Now,
They're
you keep
open.
in mind, you have to be aware of the fact that that would be a remote system that would run in the background without you touching it. So that might have some implications of.
I was about to say, I'm not sure if that'd be kosher, but
Yes.
it's a good question.
But nevertheless, because it is that way, and the way I understand it, and the way I've used it, it might be possible. I'll send a question to you.
Okay. Yeah, I'm sitting here talking to the wrong end of the phone all night. So yeah, I mean, I was talking to the earpiece, but I'm loud enough. Y'all can hear me anyway. So that's a good idea. I mean, that'd be something to kind of look into and see if it's legal to do. Could it be done?
Yeah.
So any other questions? All right, I'm gonna start the going once, going twice.
Thank you for the program. It's been very interesting.
I'm always willing to answer any questions I can. If I can't, I'll get you the answer somewhere. So there's something you want to ask and you just didn't want to ask it tonight, shoot me an email or a text or something, and I'll if I have the answer, I'll give it to you. If I don't, I'll find it or try to find it and get it to you.
It was a good presentation.
Thank you. I really love that program. Like I said, I used JT8 when I was on a Windows box, and I tried Grid Tracker a little bit, but didn't really get into it that much. But when I went to Linux, I didn't have JT Alert. And so I had to find something else, and everything I read was talking about Grid Tracker. So I finally installed it and started playing with it. And I really, really, really love it. That's one of my favorite pieces of ham software for right now, especially doing digital modes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Anything else?
Oh, it's a great information.
All right. Now, I do. Now, if you're interested in it, I do have a first draft of their getting started guide for Grid Tracker. Shoot me an email if you want it. I'll send it to you. It's a work in progress. It's not finished, but it will give you some information and maybe some tips and pointers that I didn't cover. And if you're not a member of the Discord chat server, shoot me an email. I'll get you a link because there's a lot of conversations going on. Oh, yeah. Forgot to mention that earlier. There's now a digital modes channel for you to discuss digital modes like READY or CW, any of those, and you don't want to put those in the general chat. There's a whole channel for those also. So you can go over there and discuss that.
I just sent my question to you on the digital channel.
Okay. I will get it down and we will, I guess we'll go if there's no other questions. I appreciate everybody showing up. I'll be shooting out an email about the holiday party. Please respond. Let us know if you're coming so we have an idea of how many people. And if you're interested in Winter Field Day, make sure you get with Rich. If you're interested in the extra class, either attending or helping teach, get with John. All right.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
All right. So do we have a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I second it.
All right. Everybody in favor? Say so.
Aye.
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 Hey.
Good night, guys.
Good
Have a good
night.
night.
Rich is gone. Rich went QRT.